Yeah, so if you don't like it, get out of my life. That's
on you.
We can't be friends.
If you don't like it, you need to sort your fucking life out, mate.
Sort your life out, mate.
Sort your fucking life out, mate. Beautiful.
I love it. I started up seeing when he's like, oh, what does he say? Like, I gotta get up tomorrow. And I'm pissed off. Wouldn't you be pissed off? Fuck yeah. And then like, Nick Frost's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm like, dude, why are you?
Why are you like exacerbating things?
The way. Nice.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
Konnichiwa.
Hey, happy Halloween.
Yeah, right. If you're listening to this today, the streaming on Spotify or whatever you listen to, the audio, today's Halloween.
Yeah, it is Halloween. And we are dressed accordingly.
Yes, you got to look at the video for that.
Yeah,
so hopefully you're watching that too. Do both.
Yeah, the video, hopefully we'll try to get it out by Halloween, but
we'll see. Yeah. But you should at least, hopefully, please, you've got to know who he's dressed as.
Yeah.
If you don't, thank you for listening. We appreciate all your patronage up until this point in time. This podcast is not for you.
If you don't get it.
Bless you.
If you don't get it, things will get real heavy for you.
Yeah. You see?
It's
always slipping in.
Yeah, try to. Anyway, this week, we're actually going to be talking about something that we both love very dearly, I think.
Yeah. Definitely a big favorite. Cult classic. I don't even know if it's a cult classic anymore. I think it's just a classic. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Oh, I forgot to say, my name is Trent.
And my name is Marc.
And this is Geek Off The Street. Talk about geek culture, pop culture, whatever else we want. This week is no exception to that.
Deal with it.
Because that cult classic that we just mentioned is none other than Shaun of the Dead.
Amen.
Co-written by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, and directed by Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Honestly, one of my favorite movies,
big time,
by probably my favorite director.
Right on.
And
cool.
yeah, we're gonna here to talk about it because I think it's perfect for Halloween.
Right. Yeah, Halloween Day. Maybe by the time you're watching Halloween was yesterday as you're listening to this, and today is like All Hallows Eve or whatever.
Yeah.
So, what better than the rising of the dead on All Hallows Eve?
Exactly.
So it all makes sense, guys.
Yeah,
you just gotta follow
that
clever circle of logic. It's deep.
It also works out for me because I don't like scary movies, so this is perfect. Perfect in between. Perfect balance. Perfect balance. But yeah, anyways, before we get into that, though, how are we doing and what are we drinking this week? Marc, tell us what we're drinking, man.
Let me tell you what we're drinking, Trent.
Yeah.
This is a drink that we have concocted ourselves. It is fantastic, actually, and like I said, in honor of the movie, watch the video talking about how it's made, but it's called Shaun of the Red.
Shaun of the Red.
It's got a lot of good stuff in it. This is a potent one. It's got gin, it's got tequila, it's got rum, it's got vodka.
It's got more than. We're still going.
We're still going. It's got triple sec. It's got the wild cherry schnapps, sour schnapps. And then just for whatever, we throw in some grenadine and some Sprite on top
of it.
So, classic. And it's actually
pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty good at making up drinks. And this is another one.
That's tasty.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, this is one you'll enjoy. This is one you'll enjoy.
Most definitely. And it's good for Halloween if you're having a party.
Yeah. I think all the ones that we've made up have been pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to stop just getting drinks that have already been made because...
Yeah, I know, right?
Why do that when we have this ability to create great drinks?
We're the best bartenders in the world.
Are we? Is that what we're saying?
Is that what's going on?
But anyway, how are we doing this week?
Very good. Very good. It's very windy today.
Yeah.
So, as of this recording, it is super windy out here.
Yeah.
So you might hear some... you might hear some rustling, or maybe it's ghost.
Ooh, yeah.
Leftover from Halloween.
Yeah, you see our background fluttering. It's not because there's some broken window panes back there. It's because
exactly.
Yeah,
there are ghostesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe even plural. But just working, staying busy. I'm gonna be going out with my friends later on today. I'll talk about, I guess, that next time once I have something to report.
There you go.
Did some more overtime.
Man.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Now, let me tell you something I did do. You know how I'm always talking about Overwatch?
Yeah.
Deleted it.
Whoa.
Deleted it.
You actually got rid of it this time.
Take that. I'm like, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I think I was playing it, and I don't know. I was always getting frustrated. Not really, but it's one of those things where whenever I'm mad, like the maddest I ever get, I feel like is when I'm playing this game. I'm like,
I see,
why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So like, I know I talk about it all the time. I actually just deleted off the system. I said, you know what? Enough is enough.
Wow.
So got that monkey off my back.
Yeah, now you're all
now I'm like
unburdened. And
I'm like
free,
3 days sober. I'm gonna get a pin and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think about it and I miss it, and I'm going through withdrawals, but it's all good. It's all good. What about you, man? What'd you do?
Not much. Just had a busy work week. Pretty busy work week. Today I'll be going to the Japanese festival in Costa Mesa.
Oh, they're actually having a festival out there.
at the fairgrounds actually.
Wow,
it's gotten big enough to where they actually have to do it at the fairgrounds. So.
And it's gonna be like a Japanese style, or
like a big old Japanese festival, Japanese vendors, like dancing, like the performances, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to do that.
I hope it looks like a Japanese festival. You know what I mean? Like the way they have the booths and the stand set up. Yeah. I don't know if they'll go that hard in the paint, but it would be very cool if they did.
Yeah, I'm wondering about
like
that.
You were
I
in
hope
Japan,
so. I hope it's not gonna be like one of those modern ones, like where everyone's acting like the Saturday Night Live sketch.
And the beach do.
Yeah, the beach do. Costa Mesa do.
Yeah, no, it might just be like regular booths, and they have just like a lot of Japanese stuff around it, you know, which it could still be cool. It could still be cool. So
we'll see.
And this is the first time you're going?
Yeah, I think it's like a similar festival that I've been to, but it was like in the parking lot at one point, and
oh wow,
that stuff. So it's like now it's like in a big. At the fairgrounds. So yeah,
it's like in the alley. It was like behind the red Chevy. Moving up.
So, I'm excited to do that. I'll report on that next week though. We'll go from there.
Very cool.
But otherwise, that's it. Nothing crazy.
You got family in town?
Yeah. Well, my sister's in town.
Very nice.
Yeah, my sister's in town. She, I haven't seen her in 3 years. She's in town from Texas. She is awesome. Super cool. Nice. We don't get to see each other much, but very cool to see her. She just came out by herself. She brought her family last time, which was awesome. My nephews and stuff, but she just came out this time solo just to see us for a week. Nice. And it's been great. Yeah, she's actually been giving some tips. She's I think she's like some kind of consultant or something. She runs her own consulting business, and she works as like a.
Let's talk to her.
Yeah, she works as like she manages people's thing like companies. She edits a podcast right now somehow.
She edits a podcast?
Yeah, for one of her clients. And I was like, oh, so you do what I do.
Wow.
You make money. So how does that work?
You just need to slide her.
Yeah. So she's giving me some tips about that.
Oh, that's
so
very
we
cool.
Can make some changes. But yeah, pretty great having her in town, man. She's awesome.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah. So my sister Danielle, awesome. Thanks for coming out.
Danielle.
Yeah.
I love you.
Mark means it.
I do. Yeah. I do.
But
shout out. I'm going to give a quick shout out.
Yeah, go.
First to Batical Radness.
Batical Radness.
We are trying to work with him to get him on the show. We kind of have some snafus on this end. Batical, I apologize.
Yeah.
But we're always talking about planning stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, his content that he puts out is super creative.
Yeah.
Man, he does the live streaming, with the games and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, his content is fantastic. Yeah. So we want to work with him.
Yeah, because it's so funny. It's like that. It's just that ridiculous, like doesn't care.
Right.
He really doesn't care. Just does what he thinks is funny and creative, and it always is. And he's a really good editor too. He's like a really good editor, special effects guy too. I think he went to school with RJ.
Yeah.
At Art Institute. So he's got those.
Man, I was done when I saw his Valentine skits. I think when RJ first was like, check this out, and I saw the Valentine skit, and he's on a skateboard just going across. I was like, oh, I'm done.
I love this guy. Yeah.
I can't be like 1 degree of separation from this guy.
Yeah.
Like I can't know this guy.
Gotta be friends with him.
Yeah. I can't know a guy like this.
Yeah.
And now I know a guy like this.
Yeah.
Could be moving up. So proud of me.
Yeah. Shout out to Batical. He's our Batigal was supposed to be here for Halloween, but we had an issue on our end. We couldn't schedule it out. So we'll have him on for something else though, for sure. Yeah. Most definitely. Other shout outs?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, not really. I had a couple followers that came on Instagram.
Yeah, we appreciate you followers.
Yeah, thanks for following us.
Right.
One person.
Follow us everywhere at Gotspod and where else?
Yeah, Gotspod on all of our social media except for Geek Off The Street on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to the Kyber Culture. They are a channel. They Yeah, they followed our account and liked every single thing we posted. So
wow,
thanks Kyber Culture, you guys are awesome.
I like that name.
Yeah. And
Star Trek. That was a joke.
I was gonna say
you're about to answer.
I was like, Mark, hold on, man.
You're off. You're
out.
You're
how
out.
are we doing the show together? And then you made that distinction. Yeah. I still get mad at my girlfriend for making those kind of jokes.
I think she probably does it intentionally.
She does. Yeah, she doesn't bother me. Yeah.
Kyber Culture, love you, appreciate you.
Yeah,
that is a cool name though.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so that's basically it. Thanks for checking us out. And you guys can check us out, follow us. All the spots, and then if you can, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We haven't got one in a while, so shoot over there.
Yeah, do the video, watch all the videos and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, whatever. There's so many ways to access our content.
Yes,
and to talk to us as well.
We're doing it for you.
Yeah, absolutely, we are. Not for us.
Let's get into one of the best movies.
Literally,
this is like one of the best movies.
Yeah.
And God willing, you have seen this by now.
Yeah.
It came out in 2004.
2004. Yep.
Right. So, and yeah, I think I'm literally about the same age as those guys.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't dawn on me when I was watching it, in the theater in that moment kind of thing. But so I got where they were coming from.
Yeah, good, definitely for where they're at in their lives.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gold though.
Man, Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, what a. Uh-oh.
Nobody worry.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
We
need to get a Batty Ghoul. Come in here and bust some heads.
Yeah, it's all good. We're good. But so Shaun of the Dead. Man, the first time I saw Shaun of the Dead, it was probably in 2006, maybe. Okay. And I always had been a film person. I always thought I was gonna make movies since I was a kid. But when I saw Shaun of the Dead, that was when I was like, I want to make movies like that. This is the kind of movie, because I love deep movies, and there's a lot of depth to his movies as well, Edgar Wright's movies as well. But they are funny as well, but they're very creative. There's always movies that are really dark and heavy that I really enjoy. Really thought-provoking films, right. But that's not what I ever wanted to make. And then when I saw this, I was like, I want to make movies like that. Clever movies, transitions are quick, clever dialogue, but funny also. Edgar Wright has the perfect combination, as well as Simon Pegg, for the writing of his style of filmmaking. And when I saw that this movie changed my life, literally changed my life. And every movie he's done since then, consecutive years, added to that change. Right. And Shaun of the Dead is just probably one of my favorite movies of all time, from my favorite director. Right on. So anyway, so
I can remember. I remember watching this in the theater, and I want to say Vincent and I went to watch it. I'm not sure if anybody else went with us. I can't remember right now. Probably did. Maybe Chris, I think, went with us too. I'm trying to remember exactly. But my point is, I remember seeing the commercials, the trailers for it. Yeah. And the one that sticks out in my mind is when they're leaving the bar and they're doing the and I was like, I don't know what's happening right now, because I've never seen a trailer quite like that. And I was like, I don't know what's happening right now, but that
I gotta see
is hilarious, and that I'm going to see. For one thing, I didn't know how much rap hip hop culture was in England. That's like a classic in America. I didn't know how well it was known or liked in England, and clearly they know about it. They're into it. It's not, what I mean? It's not something, out of the ordinary to them. I didn't know that it crossed over like that. So it piqued my interest again for that reason. And then when I saw it, beginning to end, it's fantastic. I mean, it starts off, the music starts off, it draws you right in. That Ghost Town song. That's a great song anyway. But once that starts, this right from the gate, it hooks you. But like you're saying, the quick transitions and whatnot, but they're smart. They're very, very clever transitions. And we're okay. And there's just so much going on. But he does it, and he makes it work.
It's so seamless too, because you have to watch this movie a lot of times to get all the nuances to it.
You can watch it the first time and love it.
You're gonna love it,
But then you watch it again, you're gonna start seeing stuff you didn't notice, and now you're just laughing more.
And you can just see the careful, how the detail put into the filming process. None of these things were mistakes or by accidents.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everything was deliberate in this film, and that's how his films always are. Very deliberate, very a lot of attention to detail, and the more I watch it, the more I love it, because there's more things that I learn watching the film.
Yeah.
Even from like the dialogue, some things that they talk about to other, to shots and stuff in the background. Like I just noticed that today, like I should have noticed a long time ago, but like when everybody in the intro montage, all those people like waiting for the bus, all those people every single one of those people become zombies. Like they are all those extras are zombies later on.
Nice.
You see every single.
I didn't catch that myself.
I didn't catch it. Like every single one of them. I was like, wait, that's the zombie in this thing. That's the zombie. So, all of them. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But they're already zombies, kind of living this regular zombie life.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about that movie, right? Like there are a lot of people. I mean, and you really see it with Ed, obviously, but they're all like just. Grudging through their lives.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of what. Yeah.
It's not really a change to society. Really.
So I know it's really funky. That's a really funky thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this movie does. It feels like it almost feels like it's like a perfect movie, right? The way it's shot, the way it's done, the dialogue and everything. It feels like it's a real. Shout out to films, the way films are made. I know we talked about that before, like with Nope, right? When you're watching Nope, you can tell like this is hitting every like bullet point that you need to do to make like a fantastic movie. And Shaun of the Dead does that too, in its own way, its own style, but it hits all those points. It feels like this is what you will want to watch if you're going to filmmaking school.
Exactly.
It's everything in that is perfect.
Yeah. You can tell that, like there are a lot of directors in the world that make very good movies, big bunch of movies, but certain directors you can tell like love.
Yeah, they have a love for it.
Like they love it. They're passionate about it. They know everything about filmmaking, and they input it in their films. You know what I mean? And that's like him, Jordan Peele, those guys. Like they really are. Like nerds about filmmaking. They just love it to death, and you can see that come through in their work.
Right? Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So Shaun of the Dead, man, this is like the best.
It is. It is.
So I guess we're probably just gonna really talk about how much we love it for the next.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with some negatives.
You got a couple negatives?
No, I don't. But I'm trying to come up with something on the fly.
I watched it again yesterday because I was actually because Mark actually pitched the idea to because we were trying to figure out something Halloween related.
Yeah.
We had nothing on the docket, and Halloween was coming up, so. I was trying to throw out some random ideas.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Mark's response was, how about Shaun of the Dead? I was like, yes. As soon as he said, Mark, I was at work, and as soon as he said that, I started on my phone and just watched it while I was working.
Oh, nice.
Immediately.
I
was like, I need another excuse to watch Shaun of the Dead. I think I watched it last month because I always go through the Cornetto trilogy every couple of months. Give or take. maybe 3 or 4 months I'll watch the trilogy again.
Every week.
Yeah. And then I was looking for another excuse to watch, and I was like, all right, let's do it. Perfect.
Very cool.
But yeah, super, super excited about it. But yeah, I guess I don't know. So I was watching it again. I was trying to find some things that I hadn't noticed before.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can talk about how great the story is, how great each character is, the acting, the transitions, the way it was shot,
chemistry,
the comedy, like all of it is genius. Like every part of that was just fantastic. And it wasn't a huge budget. I think it was like a $5 or $8 million budget, something like that, right?
I want to say it was like 6 point something.
Yeah,
like a stupid number,
right?
Like a stupid low number.
And it took them a long time to get the budget for it and to get a studio to back it. And I was taking this Edgar Wright kind of filmmaking class.
Yeah,
where he talks about that kind of stuff. He talks about the story of how he got Shaun of the Dead made, and it was a long process. It was tough. Like they had some success because of Spaced. And,
which is a great show.
Fantastic
That's where
show.
they started.
Yeah,
a lot of those actors. Even Pete, everybody was in.
The guy who plays Pete, he was in that.
In Space. Yeah, that's a great series. Watch that. Check that out. It's only 2 seasons. I think I saw it on Tubi.
I'm
not sure where
I think
saw
it's on Tubi. I think it's on
One of those
Prime
weird
Video
ones,
with commercials if you want to watch it there too. But
is it? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's all over though. Yeah, it's just a fantastic show.
Yeah,
and that's where I think they actually met on a show previous to that didn't do as well. Or him and Jessica Hines.
Okay,
the girl that plays the other girl in Spaced.
Yeah.
But then they did Space, and that was actually really well received. And so that kind of gave them a little bit of momentum. But they came up with the idea of the zombie movie from Spaced.
Right. Yeah.
The zombie episode, the Resident Evil episode. So. It took them a while to get the movie made, and it was kind of a long process, and people didn't understand it. Like everyone he was pitching it to just didn't get what they were trying to do. Wow. They just didn't understand what they were trying to do. So it's kind of a lot of work. But what was I saying? What was the point of that?
I think we were talking about what were we talking about? The budget? You're talking about
the budget was real. Oh yeah. So anyway, the budget was real low, and they did really a lot with that budget. You know what I mean? And so Edgar Wright's like he really works with what he has, and he can do it so creatively, like regardless of the money. So I was just trying to really pay attention to things that I didn't notice. Like I can get into all the things I love about it. Just go watch the movie, and you'll see how
you'll probably like it too.
Yeah, it's a genius film. It's a masterpiece. But like I noticed, like what I really like are the subtle, like I don't know, subtle things that the choices the actors made, but also the way it was shot. So like, there's one like when we meet the first zombie in the garden, and he pushes her and she falls onto the metal thing. Yeah, and then like both of their faces change immediately. So Shaun's hand goes to his mouth, and then Nick's mouth goes like. And then he gets like a kind of a weird like a whoa, but not really not really like scared or grossed out, but just like a. Whoa, you know
what's happening?
Yeah. And then there's things like that happen, and like, or when he winds the camera up and when she gets up. But then I like, but then like even the scenes where he's like, are they still outside? And then like it just shows Ed move over, open the blinds, look at both of them, close the blinds, walk back over, look back at Shaun. Yeah,
that's it. Like
or
cool
like,
as a cucumber.
Yeah. And there's one other part where I don't know why this made me laugh so much this time, but like when he's giving the meeting with the people at work. Yeah. The guy's on the phone. He starts tapping the pen, and the cap flies off.
I noticed that.
He drops down, and then he moves this way, but then he steps back up like he hadn't. You know what I mean? Like he goes down this way, but then comes back up and stands straight up.
Oh, interesting.
I was like where? How did you how did that? Like, so it's just little subtle changes to scenes that make it a little bit more funnier. Yeah, like him dropping a pen cap, whatever, that's not that funny. That's okay, whatever.
Right.
But like the fact that he went that way, but then comes back up this way, I was like,
I didn't notice that.
That's just like it's like just odd choices that change it just a little bit, but make it like a much more impactful scene.
Right. Yeah. That's very cool. Like he could have just come right back up again, and then it could have kept on going. But clearly, like everyone in that cast felt like they were all swinging for the fences. Yeah, with the roles that they had, every little bit they had. One of my favorite characters, and I can't think of her name right now, is David's girlfriend.
Oh, the actress.
Yeah, the actress, or the failed actress. The
failed actress and the twat.
And the twat.
I never called her a failed actress.
But she was. She had this like blissfully naive kind of feeling about her, man. But she was so sweet, man. I loved her to death. But when she stood up for something, you know what I mean? She stood up for something. Like when she knew about how David felt for Diane. You know, she understood it. You know, and even when David gets taken out, no spoilers, but she goes after him. He's clearly
in pieces, man.
Right, but you're still going. Like, you know, get on you. One of the other things I liked too was throughout the movie, or especially like at the beginning, there's always this feeling, especially, you know, from Shaun's perspective, like he's sinking into like the depths of, you know, everything falling apart. Yeah. But and this is just like the movie, but he's like so just, you know, naive about it. He's just so unaware of it, you know, like that I loved it when the whole thing starts in the morning and he's walking to the liquor store again. The exact same
path that he did the day before.
Right. And we went on that path with them, and we're all looking at him like, look at I mean, the first time you see it, you're like,
he's so lucky. Like, he's like completely like unaware of his surroundings.
Right. He's just doing his normal routine.
Yeah, but like Nelson is coming out of the background. Like if he was there any longer, Nelson would have got him. And like, or the homeless guy.
Yeah.
Like he literally tells like, I don't have any change. Like like he was like, I got bit his arm off. You know what I mean? So he's just completely unaware of like his surroundings, which is like really indicative of people now, you know.
Yeah, true.
Really not paying attention to anything outside of your own world, you know what I mean? So,
right, yeah. And that's what his character was. That's what they were. So it was I mean, stuff like that was funny. I remember there's the one part, and this maybe I'll save it for my negative, actually. I'll take that back. I'm gonna save it. That's gonna be my negative. I'm gonna blow this movie wide open.
Are you?
Negative,
with the one negative.
Yeah, be prepared.
Bombshells that make you hate the movie. Yeah,
right. Everybody thinks it's such a great movie.
Yeah, I do, man. I think the performances. The more I watch it too, the more I can see how great the cast is individually. Each of them are so good. Like there's nobody seemed like not an actor in this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everybody, even from like Pete to Diane. All like even Diane's emotional scenes are really good.
Yeah.
Or the angry scenes are really good. Even if you hate, as much as you hate
Dev.
Yeah, but you hate Dev. Yeah, but he was also really good too.
Yeah, especially at the end, he started. I'm going to go ahead and say he did get redemption. I think on some level. I mean, he did some pretty fucked up stuff.
Yeah, he pulled the trigger on that gun.
He pulled the trigger. That was. I mean, it wasn't awesome, but it was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, dude, you were really messed up. That you pulled that. Yeah, you pulled the trigger. And everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
And I think it was funny too because in that scene, like when he gets the gun and he's the one holding it.
Yeah.
When I watched it again, it reminded me how we were talking about with Ezra getting the lightsaber back.
Oh yeah.
It made me think of that. Where it's like when he had that gun in his hand, like his whole demeanor changed.
Oh yeah.
It seemed like he felt like I got the power now.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily say the alpha, but
I'm the hero, I guess.
I'm the hero. I'm the main guy. I'm the man or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that he turns around like he goes from being an accountant, a chartered accountant, to Charlton Heston.
I'm not a chartered accountant.
I'm a lecturer.
Well, you're a lecturer.
You're a twat.
Yeah. It's like, well, you look like one. Yeah. I'm a lecturer. You're a twat. Yeah. Even though it's like tense scenes, man, like pretty funny.
Yeah, they still have the comedy in there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, like, even though he does that, and like I said, he feels like it seems like he had this power moment when he had the rifle. He started to apologize for what he had done before what happened to him happened to him. Yeah. So I was cool with that. I was okay with that. And it seemed like they were willing or ready to. Even Shaun was ready to accept his apology. That's how it felt.
Right,
in that scene. So
and I guess this might be a little bit of a negative, but a lot of this is Shaun's fault. Like all of this is Shaun's fault. Like I feel like Dev, Diane, and
his mom,
or maybe his mom. Oh no, maybe his mom not because his dad was or his stepdad was going to change. So his mom would have been in danger. But I think. Like the three of them probably would have been okay.
Oh, if they stayed in the apartment
because they were up on another level,
Right.
Yeah, and plus that situation sort of gets resolved in one night with the military coming in.
Yeah, I mean they didn't know that, but yeah,
they didn't know that, but I mean realistically, they probably would have been okay. So I mean, I don't know.
It's hard to say, right? Yeah. Because I mean, that's what I was. I mean, I thought that too. Like they probably would have been safe up there, but I mean, it's also a possibility they probably would have survived the night.
Yeah,
but. Maybe there's no telling. Somebody rambles in, but I think Diane said it perfect, right? Because like we don't know. The reason why we all went with Shaun is because we didn't know what else to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's really in those kind of situations because I have personal experience, obviously. Yeah. But typically in any sort of stressful situation, someone needs to hopefully the right person take charge of the situation, and then you all have to act accordingly. You know what I mean? If it had been like a bunch of people saying let's do this, let's do that, and nothing gets done, then there's no telling what could have happened. So typically you in those kind of situations you do need some sort of strong leadership that everybody is going to follow and try to make happen. Because if you all work together, you can all you can probably make it work, for the most part. A lot of them didn't make it.
Yeah.
But what was that line he said when he was talking to everybody that Bertram said, civilization would be saved by cooperation or something like that. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that's pretty deep.
And then, he didn't really say that. He's like, I don't want to tell anybody. Yeah. So anyway, so Diane was the actress. Liz was the girlfriend. Just off the, we got that. Yeah, a little bit mixed up there. But yeah.
Right on.
So I 100% agree with that. But so I think I don't know. What were we saying? Point being, the movie's awesome.
Yeah.
But no, there are there's a lot of great emotional scenes too.
Yeah.
Like that last scene with his mom was really powerful.
That was great. Yeah.
And then having to kill his own mom after she had turned.
Yeah, that's had more impact on me. Like the scene with his mom and all that kind of stuff later.
Yeah.
As I've watched the movie over and over again. You start looking for things you didn't look for, or you didn't see the first time. So
yeah. And then
I definitely paid attention to that.
Yeah, most definitely. And then even the scene with his stepdad.
Yeah, that was I really loved it this time. The last time I watched it, I really loved it.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a great scene, very powerful scene as well.
Yeah, him just explaining, because from Shaun's perspective, at the beginning, we just think of him as some kind of a dick, right? Even Ed kind of chimes in on that.
Yeah.
And every time they run that scenario in their head about going to save his mom, it just gets less and less compassionate.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, sorry, whack.
Yeah. The first one's like, I'm so sorry, Phil.
So sorry.
And the last one is like, sorry, Phil.
I think he said sorry.
It's a sorry. And he hits him,
And they run and crisscross.
Yeah.
So
I love when he grabs his mom's hand and she's like,
and they're like, ah.
Everyone's running all happy. Yeah. I do love that whole thing with his mom, and he gets to his mom's house, and then like he has the knife, and he's like, I gotta kill this guy. The next scene is just him dragging in the paddle out the front door. Dejected.
Wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
But that scene, it was great, and I mean, you hear it from Philip's perspective. You know what he wanted. He just wanted for Shaun to be good and to be well. And he wanted to be a role model for him. He wanted to be something positive in his life. And and I think Shaun got it, you know, at the end.
Yeah,
I think
he finally got it.
I feel like he knew it all along, but could never say it or never, you know, actually say it out loud or anything like that.
Or even get past that, like the bad parts about it, you know, because he's still young in this movie. Young enough.
29,
He's a slacker. He's young, he's a slacker. So he's never really grown at this point, you know what I mean? Out of that phase or whatever.
Kind of the point essentially. Right?
So for him to finally see that, I mean, unfortunate that it takes the death, you know what I mean, for that to happen. That's how it is, I think, in life. Like there are a lot of those moments where you don't realize.
Until I think we were talking about that, or a little bit with we were talking about FLCL.
Last week. Yeah, most definitely.
That girl and the robot stepmom ish.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, there's so many layers to the movie, man. And the more I watch it, the more I uncover. How genius this movie is,
right?
From so many different levels, you know.
Yeah, I've always felt like when it comes to movies, and I don't know if I was being too strict, but. And maybe not, but every scene needs to be very deliberate. Like every scene has to have a point. There has to be a reason for it. It has to
move the story along
forward some kind of way.
Yeah.
And you see it all throughout this movie. That's you know, again, that's one of the things that makes it
right.
Like, so
there's no wasted scene. And the movie it's not it's like an hour and it's not super long.
Yeah, it's not super long.
An hour and 20 minutes, something like that.
Something
short, and so that's the other thing. Like with the pacing, but also with how
pacing was great.
Yeah, pacing is amazing, but how each scene mattered. Each scene mattered. There's not a wasted scene in this movie, you know what I mean? And that's what happens in a lot of like kind of bigger budget films sometimes. There's some
they can get away with it. Like
there's some gratuitous scene or something that's kind of like for just for the sake of comedy or whatever the case is. A lot of movies are just like that.
Yeah.
But like with Edgar Wright, everything matters.
Yeah.
There's no wasted scene. Yeah.
Right. You know what? I was watching, and remind me later because I'll probably forget by the end of the show, that I watched Three Amigos.
Oh, yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
Movie's gold.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you that. You know this already.
Three Amigos is the
But I was thinking about the scene, talking about a wasted scene. And it's not wasted because it's a classic. It's funny. It's hilarious. Mm-hmm. But that whole scene with the invisible swordman, right? Like, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And I would not take it out. But I feel like somebody had this idea and they're like, we got to do something with this idea and let's put it in here. It doesn't really do anything for the story.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to find El Guapo and they went to the invisible swordman. So now there's a supernatural element in this world.
Yeah. With the singing bush and
with the singing bush and an invisible swordman.
That's true. Yeah, because if you think about the rest of it, doesn't make sense for the rest of the movie.
It has nothing to do with moving the story forward.
Yeah.
But it's a great scene. So that's not a good comparison, actually. Now that I say it, because
we both shut up. We both shut up.
Farley. movie is awesome.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, that is a bad example of a wasted scene or a scene that doesn't do anything.
I don't want to pick on Marvel as I always do, but like the Professor Hulk scene in the diner in Endgame.
Oh yeah.
What the hell was the point of that scene? Like it was just to have some jokes and take a selfie with these fans and
right.
Like that kind of thing was like that was what I was told. Like go to the bathroom at that scene because you don't learn anything in that part. In this 3-hour movie. So
I feel like you learn a little bit about what the Hulk. Why the Hulk is the way he is at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not anything you really care about.
Not really. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah.
Man, why did they screw the Hulk over so much in that movie?
Said they hate the Hulk or something, man.
Dude.
The Hulk was like freaking not supposed to be that at all.
That was,
and he's still a freaking.
You said,
I almost said pussy. But
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did. I was about to say, go ahead and say it.
Just say it.
But you said it. Yeah. They really effed over him in that movie.
They did.
Why?
And he just like deteriorated the more the series went along.
And worse and worse.
Yeah.
And that character is, that's almost the epitome of what you can do with someone, like a human being dealing with their anger and their hate. And then
listen, I'm not even a Hulk fan. Like I
wouldn't go that far.
But I would probably be the Hulk because I'm angry. I'm so angry all the time. So I would. The Hulk would be the one I identify with the most. Like your anger manifesting. Like I am that guy. But he's not my favorite hero. But
right.
I would like to see a lot more than what we got.
And that's interesting too because anger manifesting. Like where do you see that in the world? Like you see that with effing random shooters. Like I mean they really could have. If they thought about it, they could have done they could do something interesting with the Hulk, but in those movies, man, they just turned him into a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And the Hulk is he's a very OP character, especially in the comic books now. Yeah. He's like crazy OP.
Yeah.
With this whole like green door thing. The Hulk's basically immortal, everybody. That's what I'm talking about. So all that kind of stuff seems kind of
if you read Weapon H, now when he did the Weapon H series, he had adamantium bones.
So he's got to have that too.
Because why?
Because why? Right. He's got to be that
already
much
indestructible.
Right. Let's make him indestructible.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So the lack.
How did that? Quick segue. Excuse us, everybody.
Yeah.
How does that even work? You can't put.
You can't even penetrate him.
Because Wolverine, when he had the adamantium put back in his body after Magneto stripped it out of him, his body rejected it.
Yeah.
The Hulk has a healing factor that is much stronger than Wolverine's. There is no.
It was ridiculous, man.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something else I like about Shaun of the Dead?
Go ahead.
There are so many like quotable moments in that movie. Again, after we watched that, me and my friends were quoting that movie like all the time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines, sort your fucking life out, mate.
Yeah.
I would say it like all the time for no reason. Like, you're fine. Everything you're doing is great.
Great, yeah.
But you need to sort your fucking life out, mate. That was a great line, that was great. Man, what are some of the other ones in there? It's not hip hop. It's electro.
You prick.
Electro. For whatever reason, that hard O at electro sticks with me for whatever reason. It's electro.
Man, me and my brother, I probably shouldn't say this on air, but like when
mom and dad stop listening?
when Ed is in the Jaguar and then he gets Liz and everybody out of the apartment. Yeah. Then he pulls up in the car and he gets out of the car and he's like, "What's up?"
I saw that and I laughed. You probably couldn't do that today.
I don't think so,
You couldn't do that today.
A white British man saying that? Yeah. Like I withheld because the world's not going to know that my dad's black and I can't. So I clipped this so I was going to be like, "Oh, he's a racist." So I didn't even say it. But like that dude, and he had like a high pitch, "What's up?" It's like a high pitched voice. It's so, me and my brother did that all the time. We quoted that so much when we were young after seeing that because it's so funny. Just it was like, what? Like what? Like why? What was the point of that? But it's so funny though. So funny.
Yeah. There is a lot of them in there, man. When they're in the pub after everything's going down and and they're talking whatever, and he said, "He's all your boyfriend or whatever." Or you're talking about Ed. He's on my way. He's all, Yeah, he has him a beer. It's like it's a bit warm. The tap's out or something like that.
Thanks, babe.
So thanks, babe. He kind of like looks at him.
Out of the side eye, yeah. And then, but the long-term jokes too, where they're talking about like, oh, Big Al says that gun's real.
Yeah, see that's.
And Big Al, he also says dogs can't look up. Yeah. And there's like three. Like, the second time they say when they're on the car together, and Diane's like, oh, can't they? Like, it's just like.
And that was the cool thing too. There are a lot of like, little lines. And again, there's nothing wasted in this movie.
Yeah.
There were so many lines that are just lines at the beginning, but they pay off
at the end. Yeah.
At the end of it, like when he talks about the Winchester and like there's a Winchester. The rifle like comes into play. It works. What else were the other ones? Like again, talking about like not the dogs can't look up part, but. Whatever you were just saying, I apologize.
Yeah. No.
But there are all a bunch of little lines that they make at the beginning, or even when he talks about when what is his face goes after Ed or Ned or whatever. Man,
Ed.
He slide that away. And he's telling Pete to leave him alone.
Yeah. Oh,
like that. Yeah. There's another.
Like
you see it again. Yeah, he's defending him
the whole movie. Yeah.
And then at the end of it. When Pete is attacking him and he yells at him again, I said, leave him alone.
Yeah, and then shoot. Yeah.
I said, leave him alone. I love the way he delivers that line.
The way he
leave him alone. Love the delivery.
And then he takes him out. Yeah. Oh, or fuck a doodle doo. Like that is a line a couple of times. Like it pays off, and it has to do with Pete each time. And he's like, oh, look. And then he walks into the zombie. Oh, fuck a doodle doo.
Another great line.
Another great line. Yeah. So
like,
a lot of those like, and they're not like. They're not overused like because they're funny.
Yeah,
like they're placed. Like they pay off.
Every time they use it, exactly. They have
set up
a payoff.
In the beginning and
they have a payoff.
Yeah, they pay off at the very end. Like it's a long running joke. Yeah, and then even when he shoots the gun, he's like, I fucking knew it, and he's like, all right, but dogs can't look up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he pulls the.
Yeah. And then even when they were shooting, it went back to like when Shaun was telling Ed, top left, and that, and then it flipped around. Ed was telling him, blah, 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 top left.
Yeah.
So just things that you think don't have any sort of relevance whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Like even while the scene is moving forward, it's just a couple lines to move the scene forward.
Yeah.
There's a payoff with those lines at the end of the movie. Man, that is a fucking love of writing, man.
Exactly, yeah. And making them pay off in the right way.
Yeah.
And making it worth
it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And
they're all throughout that movie.
Yeah.
They're all throughout that movie.
Genius. They're just completely genius.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I can't talk about how much I love this movie.
Big time.
In a 1 hour podcast.
Right.
Yeah. It'll go on forever. But did you say you had negative you want to talk about?
Check this out.
Hit me.
When Shaun was walking to the liquor store at the second time, once everything is going down.
Yeah.
There's a part where he's walking up to get like the Diet Coke out or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He turns and he walks and he does his slipping motion.
Yeah.
What did he slip on? Mic drop. Yeah. Shaun of the Dead is over. I just ruined it for everybody.
It's the worst movie ever.
No, that's all I got.
That's what
that was all I got. That was my only negative.
I was gonna assume it because like there's blood handprints on the glass that he's getting the soda out of.
Oh, see, here's the thing. Oh. Here's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Because I made it because I've seen the movie like once or twice or 20 times.
Yeah.
I made it a point to look at what did he slip on when he walked in there. There was nothing on the floor. But I mean, maybe he had something on his shoe and he finally slipped on it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Continuity error then.
Yeah, I got you.
So the movie isn't perfect.
I got you, Edgar Wright. I got you.
You're not my favorite director anymore.
Just like that.
You're not a continuity era guy.
Right.
You just
But that slip was hilarious.
It was pretty funny,
I mean, when you're watching it, you're like, oh, dude, you're slipping.
You're slipping in someone's blood or someone's guts or something. Yeah, because it makes the sound. Yeah, too. You know, so
he slides and
he just keeps going. Like he doesn't even look down at what he slipped in. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go to that area. That whole area seemed interesting.
Man,
just you live over here, walk across the street, the little things over there. That whole area seemed interesting.
Right. Yeah. I'll send you the video. There's a video with Simon Pegg recently where he's like, oh, I know a lot of people. I think it has something to do with Mission Impossible. He's like, yeah, I know a lot of people are expecting a big press thing, but I'm just gonna go back to my old hometown. And then he's like, he walks the exact path.
Shut the front door.
The exact path, and someone's obviously shooting him doing
it.
Yeah, I'll send you the video.
That's awesome,
it's
dude.
amazing.
I'd be doing a slow clap for that.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes.
So it's pretty great. But that negatives. I mean, I know. I guess I did say that Shaun, it does cause, I think, a lot of the issues, but there's a clear character change in him. Like his character before this happens wouldn't be the one taking charge anyway.
Right.
So this is his first foray into kind of like,
because you see him kind of taking charge in the convenient or the electronics store that he works at, and it's not going so great.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so now he's like kind of has a chance to kind of maybe change, and like this kind of crazy situation is what causes him to change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of people died and everybody got eaten.
Right.
And but he did became a more of. I mean, at the end is kind of seems like he kind of reverted back a little bit. And Liz reverted back with them, but
that's the interesting thing. It seemed like Liz reverted back, or devolved.
Yeah, devolved. She doesn't really want all that adventure that she had clamored for in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't necessarily know the real dynamics of their relationship, and maybe it's just that day.
Right.
Maybe the whole thing was a bit of a compromise, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, we're just kind of filling in the gaps ourselves. We don't know for a fact or whatever.
Yeah, because they do have a plan. Like they're gonna go get dinner, and have a day, but then also go to the pub, and then come and watch TV.
Yeah, it felt like it was like a good compromise.
Yeah, in between, like exactly. Yeah, kind of what they both maybe want.
Yeah.
That was kind of that ending was great, man. Like, everything, like it all. Man, I love this movie, dude.
Yeah,
I really can't.
Everything. There's not really anything that's really bad in it. Not really. I mean, I know Ed has some moments like when he crashed the red car, when he crashed fucking Pete's car, just so he could drive it via the Jag. Like, dude. And then when they're getting out of the car, when Philip turns, and the child lock
is still on,
which is another joke.
Yeah, that pays off. Yeah.
He's just sitting there.
He just stands there. Yeah,
like,
he just stands there.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Him and Dad had a couple of moments where he was kind of sitting there and was like,
dude, and then like even like when his phone rings, while they're trying to get into the bar,
right?
Yeah, and he's like talking about weed, like because the guys asked him, "Did you got any weed?" And he's like, "No, I don't got anything."
He's having a straight up conversation with them in the freaking zombie apocalypse.
He sits on the bench, like on the table, and starts talking, and then
he argues with them. No, listen,
or that little slot machine thing that he plays, like dude, all these you're. Like you are kind of a crutch to Shaun, you are kind of holding him back a little bit,
right, And again, you see it, but then you really, when Pete calls it out, Pete calls it out,
then Shaun is actually trying to be better in this situation. Ed is still not trying to be better with him, and so that's what he also notices. Okay, he is he is holding me back, in a lot of ways, So, Great, man.
Yeah, man.
We can go on forever.
I remember I was reading too that there was talk, not real talk, I suppose, of a sequel.
Oh, really?
Like I said, it wasn't real. I don't think it was ever really going to go anywhere, but just because I think it had done so well, you have to naturally do that. But I think it never panned out. I think one of the titles that might have been, well, here's one of the things I heard. These are two separate things, but they actually work.
Yeah.
One of the sequel was possibly supposed to deal with vampires.
So
really? I don't know what was going to be happening. They're dealing with vampires again, but I think part of the thing was like nobody really survived from the first one that you could do a sequel, unless it's going to be, Shaun and Liz.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is they're talking about that, but I think at one point one of the working titles for Shaun of the Dead was From Dusk Till Shaun. Like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
From Dusk Till Shaun. So like that's a clever title.
That is a clever title.
Like Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
So that would have worked. So if you take that, which was a vampire movie, From Dusk Till Dawn, and then you make a sequel, you've got a title and you've got a plot.
Yeah.
Maybe not a great plot, but
Yeah, that's true. So no, I think I listened to a lot of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost interviews and stuff, and interviews on podcasts and stuff. And I know that I didn't hear about that, but I know Simon Pegg was saying that they try to get together and work on something new every couple of years or so. It's been a while since they did a project together. I think it might have been World's End was the last one they all did together. Right. I know Simon Pegg and Nick Frost still work together on films and stuff.
That Dave movie or what was it called? Paul?
Yeah, Paul. That was pretty funny too. But
okay,
there are a lot of movies that they do. So they said they're all going to come together eventually again, but they're always waiting for the right idea though. I think
that's cool. Yeah, don't rush it, man.
Yeah. But I couldn't wait to see what the next thing is because and then as you guys know, the Cornetto trilogy, which is Hot Fuzz and The World's End, also all amazing movies, all of them fantastic in their own right. I think. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you too. The reason why the Cornetto was in the first place in that movie was apparently the director Edgar Wright thinks that Cornetto is good for a hangover. So that's the reason why what he asked for when Shaun's taking off to the liquor store or whatever, convenience store, bring me Cornetto. That's good for a hangover. And apparently, like this is something he discovered like in his teenage years of drink because the legal age is 18 to drink.
Oh, right. So, yeah, that's true.
So that's what he discovered, Cornetto. And whenever I go to like 7-Eleven or some convenience store, I always walk by
the ice cream section.
And it's like, is there a Cornetto in there? Is there a Cornetto?
Yeah.
I know we've got like an equivalent.
Yeah.
But if I could actually find a Cornetto.
An actual Cornetto would be great. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then the reason why they call it the Cornetto trilogy is because Cornetto makes an appearance on some level in all those movies. And and the last one, World's End, it's not really there. It's just like you see the rapper.
Yeah, he's rapper.
At the end. Like, okay, that counts. That's good enough for me.
I guess the Cornetto is like a three flavored
right, and that's supposed to be the thing too. Like every flavor was supposed to represent something in
different.
The movie.
Yeah, because it's not really it's not a trilogy as far as like the same characters.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like a
yes. Let me ask you this question: do you think, or I wonder if anybody's ever asked them, is this all within the same universe? Is this all like where Shaun of the Dead fought the zombies, where Nick Frost?
No, it was
no, it wasn't Nick Frost. Definitely wasn't Nick Frost.
Sergeant Angel.
Yes,
Nicholas Angel.
Nicholas Angel. Yeah, Nicholas Angel. Right?
Or should I say Angel?
Yeah, or Angel. Right. We're all.
Nicholas Angel.
I'd be curious. Yeah. Is that the same world, the same universe?
Oh yeah.
Maybe probably not.
Yeah,
But I'd be curious if anybody ever like posed the question because it is the Cornetto trilogy, so maybe.
And there's a lot of similarities,
Yeah, maybe it's all this. Maybe it's all the same world.
Yeah.
It could be, and it's just 3 different stories of at least 6 people that all look alike.
Yeah.
2 of them,
at least
at the
very least, at the very least. But yeah, any last thoughts you want us to have about Shaun of the Dead?
Not really, man. It's like you said, we could talk about this movie forever and a day.
Yeah, and I will continue to watch this movie over and over for the rest of my life because it. And the Cornetto trilogy, and pretty much everything Edgar Wright makes, I watch over and over.
Definitely.
But Shaun of the Dead just has such a special place for me.
Right.
It really changed a lot about how I thought about filmmaking and what I thought was funny. I think Shaun of the Dead might have been the first launching the British humor for me.
Oh, okay, nice.
Maybe, yeah. So I don't think I watched the British Office until way later.
Sure.
Know? So I think that might have been my first introduction to that too as well.
Yeah.
And it really shifted a lot about who I was. And so and I think I'll always love it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so much to say. I'm just remembering how like polite they all are and were in that movie.
Oh yeah,
in that world. Even when things are going wrong and they're yelling or saying things that to each other, they're still like even when they're breaking up, there's a level of politeness. When she's looking at the flowers.
Oh yeah,
the wonderful mom. That's another thing I was gonna say too. Like Shaun never lied to Liz. That was one thing I was waiting for especially when I watched it again. I kept looking to be, or is he gonna make some kind of excuse? Is he gonna try to back out or do something? He never lied to her. He always told her the truth, even if that came back to bite him.
Right. Even the truth was shitty,
Even if the truth was shitty, he still, he always, apparently, I think he just loved her so much, he didn't want to lie to her. He just wanted to tell her the truth, which was...
Yeah, that's commendable.
It's very cool.
Way. Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, in all honesty, nothing... Yeah. I could watch this movie all the time. Mm-hmm. I remember, again, watching it in the theater and just remember, just walking out there like, this thing is great.
Yeah.
This thing is great. And then everybody thought it was great. My friends, we went to see it. We were, like I said, we were quoting it back and forth to each other like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and finding a movie like that is always fun. You know, I think, you know, we were like that with Super Troopers when that came out.
Oh yeah, another classic.
All kinds of like quotable moments in there.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. So when you find a movie like this, and it's just fantastic, it has a place. You know what I mean? In your, you know, in your heart for movies and everything.
Yeah.
So it's gold, man.
Yeah,
gold.
100%, man. If you guys have not seen Shaun of the Dead, this will be one of those times where I'm like,
drop what you're doing and go watch it.
What are you doing with your life if you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead? And even if you don't end up liking it for whatever reason, it's not your style of movie, whatever, which is crazy. Hard to believe.
Right.
But I'm sure the people out there that won't love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, drop what you're doing right now. Watch that movie. It's streaming on Hulu now.
It is.
That's recent.
That's how I watched it.
Yeah.
My DVD didn't work. So I'm like, son of a bitch. There's a dislike. There's one. My DVD didn't work for Shaun of the Dead. I'm mad about that. I can't blame myself.
I think I have a Steelbook, Shaun of the Dead Blu-ray. We got released a couple years ago, which is great. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but
if you have seen Shaun of the Dead, watch it again.
Watch it again, yeah.
Watch it again,
and try to watch it for like some other subtle differences, like different types, the different areas of comedy.
It'll be there.
Yeah, you'll catch things every time you watch it.
Right. And it's not your typical zombie movie. Like if somebody is really into horror and they're looking for a zombie movie, this isn't it. This is definitely more of a comedy or a rom-com, whatever you want to call it. But it's like I said, it's still a great movie. And even if you're looking for like that horror aspect of it, there's no, in my opinion, even if you are into horror and you watch this, even if that's not what you're looking for, you can't say that it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Not honestly.
Yeah, you can't even say it's a bad horror movie or a bad whatever movie because it's not trying to do any one of those things, you know. Yeah. So I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, get out of my life. That's
on you.
We can't be friends.
If you don't like it, you need to sort your fucking life out, mate.
Sort your life out, mate.
Sort your fucking life out, mate. Beautiful.
I love that scene when he's like, what does he say? Like, I gotta get up tomorrow. And I'm pissed off. Wouldn't you be pissed off? Fuck yeah. And then like, Nick Frost's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm like, dude, why are you?
Why are you like exacerbating things?
Nice. Because the way he responded with that, fuck yeah. I'm like, dude, you sound like you're ready to score off with him right now. The way he said it, I'm like, why are you?
Yeah, even though you're like technically agreeing with him, you're still that's still gonna piss him off.
You're doing it in a certain way.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
It's 4 in the fucking morning.
But even that was like, we split up with Liz, and he's like, just try to keep it down.
Yeah,
he's
right. He's like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You're having a moment. I'm gonna step back, do your thing. Just keep it down.
Yeah,
keep it down. He wasn't that bad of a guy because everything he was saying was kind of right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it all pans out like it is true. You know,
right?
A lot of things he said is true.
I love that he's all. There was that moment we stayed up all night playing Tekken and
getting drunk on peach schnapps.
Yeah.
He's like, when was that?
5 years ago.
And he never went home.
Because you're thinking like, oh, he's lightening up in that moment. Then he flips it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like every scene is good.
Yeah, it pays off,
Yeah, man, we haven't even scratched the surface, man.
There's
so much. But
we'll have to do a part 2 maybe of this.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Talk about some other things and get the technical side of it. But yeah, otherwise, we'll end our talking there on Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is freaking like a 99, 100% movie for me. It's my favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right on.
And there's nothing you can really say to me to get me to change that.
Right on.
All you people out there, if you don't like it, jog on.
Jog on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. Yeah. But yeah, funny thing, Dennis actually thinks that Hot Fuzz is scarier than Shaun of the Dead.
Scarier?
Yeah, he actually was creeped out by the secret society shit.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that because that again, that's something real.
Yeah.
You know, like people being creepy. Is different from like something that's not real being creepy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that time I went to the cemetery with the Ouija board.
Oh yeah.
You know that I don't care about Ouija boards, but once we got there and we saw the weird shit that was like spray painted and that was there, like that creeped me out.
Crackheads in here.
Exactly. There's somebody that's down here that's clearly into some weird shit.
Yeah. That's
I'm more worried about them than anything else.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, we have the opposite opinion about horror movies. Like you're worried about the supernatural, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the supernatural.
Yeah,
like, you're like, I don't give a fuck about real people. I'll fuck them up. And I'm like, I care about real people because they're real. I don't want to deal with that.
Well, I gotta hurt a real person, if I punch them in the nuts or something, you know what I mean? But you can't punch a ghost in the nuts. Not that I'm saying ghosts are real, but Dennis was always like, he's like, that Hot Fuzz scared me.
Yeah,
I was like, he scared you.
Scared is a strong word.
Yeah, but he's like, they're all because I guess they're all in those hoods and they're killing people and stuff.
Right, and they got like this weird agenda.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it.
But dude, the greater good always been that. The greater good.
Greater good.
Because you do this for the greater good. The greater good. Oh, come on.
The greater good.
Greater good.
No cheese.
Oh, shut up. Dude, oh, man. So funny. Yeah, anyway, we'll get into that one another time, maybe.
Another time.
But yeah, anything we're into this week before we wrap it up?
What are we into? Like I said, I watched Three Amigos. Still great.
Love it.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's gold.
Yeah.
Blue shadows on the trail. Anyways, so I watched.
Good night, Rusty. Is it the freaking turtle? Good night, Rusty.
Yeah, good night, Rusty.
Or Dusty. Good night, Dusty. Good night, Dusty. Yeah.
Then the horses.
Oh, boom, 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 boy.
Horses got bass. So dumb. But it's like I love it. So I watched that. I watched Big Mouth came out with a new season.
Oh, okay. That's right. I heard about that.
Binge watched it that same day. I came home and saw, oh shit, Big Mouth's got another season. Yeah. Watch it all that night.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Maybe not as good as some of the other seasons. There's always something good in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just came out, and I've already I've watched and rewatched the other ones, but it's still good. The show is phenomenal, and now they're kind of moving into high school, and they didn't do like this big thing where like the season ends with them going to high school or about to go to high school. They did it halfway, so we kind of they didn't leave us hanging. We got to see them leaving middle school and going into high school, and we're kind of we went along with it too. So Big Mouth is a fantastic series. Definitely not for kids. Maybe watch it if you have kids, because I think it kind of reminds you of what it's like to be a kid in a very comical and animated and graphic way.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good series. It's very funny, but it's very, 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 very thought provoking too.
Okay.
And they play it off like it's not, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And then I was watching Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Yeah.
I think when they went to Namek, when I was originally watching Dragon Ball Z back in like the effing 90s or something.
Yeah.
Like the show just stopped and it kind of started back up again years later. So for whatever reason, I have this Jones to watch Dragon Ball Z when they go to Namek.
I see.
I feel like I'm always trying to recapture that missing feeling. So
I see. Okay.
But that's about it. You, sir?
I'm on season 4 of Attack on Titan now.
Yeah, I need to start watching that again.
It's starting to. I didn't know it was gonna go this direction, but Aaron's kind of the bad guy now. So
is he though?
Or is he? As far as I'm only on episode like 8 or 9 of season 4. So I actually have to watch a lot. If we're gonna catch up by next week.
Right.
But yeah, watching that is really good.
I'm really curious how that's gonna play out.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I've said it before on the show. I hope it's gonna go one way. I feel like they may take it another just because of some of the things what you just said right now. So I know what I'm hoping for. I know what I think would be the best way to end that show, but we'll see what they ultimately do.
I gotcha. Yeah. And then I had to go watch the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie in theaters with my girlfriend. She dragged me into it. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan.
I believe that.
But I actually liked it. I
heard her concert is amazing. From people that have gone have said it's. I mean, the literally life changing has been the thing that has come up.
You know what I'm saying? Just watching it at the theater was actually pretty. And I think I always say that regardless of what genre of music you like, live music
I say that all the time too. Yeah, live music is always great. Yeah.
And Taylor Swift, I see why she's as famous and as popular as she is, because as a performer, she's very talented.
Right.
And I liked, because she had a live band at this concert, which that's the best points for me. I see a live band, and it was actually pretty cool. Like the time and effort that they put into the actual concert itself was pretty impressive. So I'm never gonna say I'm a Taylor Swift fan. But it was pretty cool. And I think even there was like a brief moment in time where I listened to like new country, because Dennis listened to new country. And she started out as like a new country artist, you know. And those first couple albums, they're fun. They're fun little. She's like cute, you know.
And they're kind of like this little, you know, like girl. You know, crush-ish.
Music.
Stuff,
but you could tell that she had some songwriting skills, you know.
Yeah, she definitely does.
As a kid, you know. And so those that she played a couple of those songs from her old album that I recognized. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that song.
That's cool.
When I was in high school, and it was cool. And she still plays the guitar a little bit, kind of. But so it was cool. It was all right.
Yeah. I mean, I respect Taylor Swift. You know, I feel like I don't know how much of her music she writes. As far as I know, she writes her own stuff. I mean, she did that when she's doing country. Maybe, you know, she's a little more pop now, so maybe she probably has people that are coming up with the melodies and stuff like that.
She for sure has a team that helps her with something.
I'm sure.
Because even if you're looking at the list of like who wrote some of her songs, there's like 3 or 4 people sometimes on that list. And so
I think a lot of the stuff she writes, or she did write at least. But so for that reason, I will give her props. I'll give her respect for that.
Yeah, she does deserve some respect, is what I mean to say. I'm not gonna go back and listen to her albums, because it probably won't sound like it did at that live thingy. But I see why she is who she is, and I totally respect it.
I think I remember seeing her too. I don't know if I said this on the show, when she might have been 14, and she performed at Dodger Stadium, and that's when I was like going to Dodger games like religiously. And she was opening up. She wasn't doing the national anthem, but she was doing like an opening number. And I remember thinking like, oh my god, a fucking country music singer. Sorry, country music. I've matured since then. I've got respect for country music. I do, honestly. But yeah, I thought, a country music artist, and then when I heard she's 14, I'm like, oh my! I was like one of the other, like, oh god, come on! You know what I mean? So, but I remember like just completely like, I'm not even gonna listen to this chick. And I was talking with my friends, eating food. And the music, she played her song, did whatever, and you hear it in the background. You can't help but not. But I remember once the song ended, I remember thinking like, that actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah,
that was pretty good for a country song and a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
that was actually really good. So for that reason alone, I've got like a ton of. I do have respect for her. So like I said, I'm not her demographic.
Yeah, same.
But it's all good.
Yeah,
so
I
good
think
for her.
same. I don't think I have. Not demographic at all, and I don't think I don't like pop music. I just really don't like pop music myself. And so it doesn't really apply to me. And when she started going very pop, I was like, I'm not going to listen to it ever again. I don't need to. But it was really cool to see the live performance. And I thought it was. I was like, oh, I would see this live if I had. I mean, I wouldn't spend $1,000 to go see it. Like the tickets were, but like if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't. I wouldn't turn it down.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Maybe I'm opening my mind a little bit up. I'm becoming a little more.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I was. I mean, at one point in time, I was very, and I think it comes with, being around that age, Shaun's age. You're around that same age right now. You tend to be you're somewhat polarized, and I think the older you get, things are less black and white, and they become a little more grayish. And then really, hopefully you learn how to accept other things. You know what I mean? You don't have to like them. But just, you learn to accept them. You learn to respect what they are to certain people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go out dancing to country music, but if somebody wants to dance to country music, that's because it moves them. They get it. So I respect that. I'm not going to, shit on that or take that away from them because I'm not into it.
Yeah, 100%. So, I agree. So, maybe I'm getting older now, huh? Maybe I'm maturing a little bit.
And wiser.
Maybe I'm not 14 anymore, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But it's all good.
Anyway, that's going to be it.
That's it,
Let's wrap it up. We got to get out of here. But
we do.
Next week, if it is as scheduled, Attack on Titan ends next week with the final movie, so we're gonna be covering that. So catch me on Attack on Titan.
Crossed.
We'll be
watch
covering the finale if it actually premieres like they say it will.
I don't trust them, but we'll see.
Yeah, neither do I, but hopefully we'll get there. Otherwise, Thanks for checking us out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been our Halloween episode. Hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and you guys take care of yourself out there.
And happy All Hallows Eve.
Eve?
No, that was yesterday. It was All Saints Day today.
All Saints. There you go. Yeah.
Today, as you're watching this, listening to this.
Yeah. But depending on when this comes out, we don't know yet.
Depending on when you listen. Depending on when you listen.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's around Halloween. That's what it is.
So
be safe, have fun, and my name is Trent.
And my name is Marc.
And this is Geek Off The Street.
Sort your fucking life out, mate.
He does that with
I know the way you...
Yeah, sort your fucking life out.
I was saying that all the time.
Were you really?
For no reason.
Oh, man.